The clues below are to tell about a little idea about each person, and you'd have to be pretty good at Platteville lore in order to get the names of all of them. So if you look from the side, you can see the little fins are sticking out, and those numbers by the names of the people correlate with the clue that corresponds with each one of them. On the left, John Roundtree, the founding father of Platteville, or a founding father, depending on who you want to argue about that. Anyway, he opened the first business here in town. He was the postmaster. He laid out all the streets. His name is on every chunk of property within quite a range of this spot here anyway. The next one is W.N. Smith. He was instrumental in getting the city to set aside parcels of land throughout the community for parks so that each neighborhood would have a park near it. He was also instrumental in Platteville getting the pool during the Depression years. Following along in front and center is Agnes Brigham. She was the first basketball coach for the college, and I don't know if it's true or not, but the story I've heard is that she was hired with a resume that said A. Brigham, and when she showed up, she was a she. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard that told. And then above her, next to Pioneering the Good Life, is Eden Southworth. She was the largest selling author of the 1800s, and she was kind of the Danielle Steele of her day. Next to her is Martin Rindlob. He was an editor of the Platteville Witness, which was a long-time newspaper here in Platteville, and he was also instrumental in getting the first territorial capital set aside as a historic site in Belmont. Next to him is Wilson Cunningham, who opened the first hospital. There were places here that you could go get medical service, but he was the one that built the first time to build a building specifically for a hospital. Below him is Josiah Pickard, and Pickard Hall is named after him, but he was the founder of Platteville Academy, which eventually evolved into the UWP. Next to him is Platteville's favorite bear. 2 years ago when this whole thing started, I was I was playing around with different sketches and ideas and things like that, and I had a bunch of people there that I was trying to decide on who was going in there, and I had a picture of Mike Ditka and Jim McMahon on this, and Peggy Banfield at the Owl Cafe says, "What do you got them on there for?" Nobody liked those guys. Walter Payton's the one everybody liked, and then she told the story about Walter Payton up at the picnic at the park with the Bears and the Chamber of Commerce. And Walter Payton in the fridge sat there all night long and signed autographs and made sure that every kid that wanted an autograph got the autograph. So Walter won out, and I was glad that that happened. And then, of course, one of our this picture here was taken from the first national championship that Bo Ryan brought home. And so that's why he's clue number 2, the first one for our number 1. And with that, I'll introduce our number 1, Bo Ryan.
Thanks, Todd. Boy, that's... How about the hair? What are you laughing at, Ronnie? You got all that white around the side of your hat. I can't tell you how neat this is. It's quite an honor to be considered with all those people up there. They seem to have done a lot. Their accomplishments seem to have been a lot more important, I guess, but maybe we did bring something to the city. I'm not talking about myself, but the teams, and the fact that people here believe that you can actually have a national championship caliber program in a town like this size, with such great people, and that's what we're the most proud of, is what these guys were able to do. And I think I only had two players in 15 years that played 4 years for me that did not graduate, that do not have their degrees. And I'm still after both of those guys right now. So we might get 100% here eventually. Still, we're closely connected with the city of Platteville. That's never going to change. I don't know where I'd have been without the 15 years that we spent here. For my family, Brenna, raise your hand back there, wave a little bit. She's a freshman here in Huguenin Hall. Maren is a senior at Middleton, right next to her. Kelly is here. Kel, wait. Everybody knows Kelly. More people know Kelly than they know me. Anybody else from the family back there sneak in? Matt had a meeting. He couldn't be here. Will's up in Fargo, North Dakota. I'm just filling in on the family. And Megan is in Madison with our granddaughter. We have 2 grandchildren, Aoife, A-O-I-F-E. And again, if you're ever asked, well, how does he spell his name, or how is the granddaughter's name spelled? Don't do what my mom did after I spelled it 4 or 5 times. She told my sister when asked, how do you spell that? She said, F-U. It's A-O-I-F-E. It's Aoife. And Will had a boy, and Will is William Francis Ryan III. I told him if he was going to be rich, you can name the kid the 4th. He named him Owen, O-W-E-N. So, have you ever known anybody with the 4th that didn't have a lot of money? No, of course not. See a lot of familiar faces here. I'd like to mention specific thank yous, but if I did that, we'd be here for another hour. So I appreciate you coming out. And on behalf of the teams, the administrators, the school, and everybody else that was a big part of all those championships, the athletic directors, and everybody, especially George Chris. I can't come to Platteville and not say something about George. How many here remember George? Quite a few, I would think. He also helped get the Bears here along with Steve and everybody else. So I think that part of the lifespan of the city of Platteville, we're extremely proud, and I'm proud to represent the players, as I mentioned, and everybody else that was a part of that. You people have made us feel very special, my entire family, and hopefully you can carry on these memories of Platteville and what we were a part of and had a chance to experience, and hopefully there's a lot more coming. I put a lot of pressure on Paul Combs this year. They're ranked high. And where's all those people that kept asking me every year, where's the Final Four this year, Coach, or where's the national championship? And I'd say, wait a minute, we haven't even started the non-conference yet. And then they'd say, oh, because we want to make our reservations. So when you see Paul Combs say, hey, Coach, where's the championships this year? I think they're still in Salem, aren't they? Okay, well, put the heat on him. Keep it off me. They're getting so bored in Madison, the guy didn't have anything else to write about, so he wrote about us winning the national championship. The Big Ten championships weren't good enough for him, I guess, so it's kind of like, at Platteville here, you got a little spoiled too, so it goes with the territory. But we're having some fun in Madison. Tud, this is unbelievable. I don't know how much time it took to do those, or how many hours does it take to do one of them?
Lots, I don't know.
A lot?
I don't even want to think about it.
Well, that's pretty neat. And the other thing where it has, you know, the first one for our number 1, I see some professors here and people that are involved with the university. We had the most student athletes with a 3.2 and above for 9 of the 15 years that we were here in the country. Now that's pretty good. We had a lot of engineers with 30, 32 ACTs. They had to say everything twice for me so that I could understand them. But it's a very proud moment for our family to be standing here and to be honored in a city like this, in a place that has given us so much. And we can't thank you enough. And anybody that needs a book, I'll see you down. You know, I still want to say Dick's, but down at Piggly Wiggly, we'll be down there signing. And Tud, thanks a lot. This is, as I said, quite an honor. And thanks to the city of Platteville. Thank you. Not dancing, no. We're not dancing.
you.